Chronicles with your host, Cosmon Cal.
Yeah, right back like I left something. It's your big cuz, double OG Cosmon. Hey, the hostess with the mostest, burning like toast is. Your naga, your nerve. Fresh off the curb, jelly, jam, and preserve. Hey, just wanted to come in with a little quick topic today. This is 146, the mystic symbol. Or what we will end up finding out is what most is misunderstood as the hidden name or the secret name, the mystic name of the creator, right? We're going to show that name. We're going to show it here in ancient America 6,000 to 9,000 years ago, right? Right here in the Americas. And we're going to show you the languages. We're going to show you why they are like this and why the language is written like it is, and what they say is a confused hodgepodge of languages just proves that it's older than the versions they're trying to compare it to. It's the mother tongue of the tongues that come after it. Many of them we commonly have heard of: uniform, Egyptian hieroglyph, Greek. You dig what I'm saying? These are all children of this more ancient language, and we're gonna get into that, right? But I want to show y'all a little video about the mystic symbol, and up here in Michigan, right? Up here in Michigan, some of the greatest finds. Shout out to the gang, man. Peace to the creator gang in the house. I got Dreadful in here, Fritz in here, True Beauty for Ashes in here, Higher Light Homeschool in here, Black Rain in here, man. Y'all come on in here, thumb up, man, share the live, man. Let people know that we live, man. The crazy part is I just wanted to kind of try something and just go live and see if people get it, because like it's like when I schedule a show, right? And if y'all supposedly, I'm not saying y'all, but if you supposedly notified and locked in, subscribed to the show, everybody, when I put out a notice, everybody should get one. But I seem to not. And most people tell me that I didn't even know you was lying, bro. Woo, 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 woo. So I'm like, okay, right? So maybe if I just pop up and go live, you know what I mean? Maybe it'll send, the blast out there. So, don't whoop on me, YouTube. You did what I'm talking about. I ain't did nothing. I ain't did nothing to you. You know what I mean? Let me get this off the screen real quick. And let's dive into the mystic symbol. All right? Hold on, let me blow this up just a little bit. Get it together. Let's go.
In a public museum in the center of the United States, there exists a collection of archaeological relics so unexpected that they challenge the imagination. These artifacts tell of an ancient people that existed in North America before Columbus. The language symbols on the artifacts come from the Mediterranean: Egyptian hieroglyphics, Greek letters, and cuneiform writing. The artifacts were all discovered in the state of Michigan, at the center of the Great Lakes region. Thousands of artifacts, discovered in 17 counties over a span of more than 25 years. Artifacts that have survived under a cloud of uncertainty. Are they the artifacts of a hoax, or are they the artifacts of history? Either way, they've come to be known as the Michigan relics. When they were first discovered, interest in the Michigan relics was intense, but they would fall into obscurity, becoming all but forgotten, to be rediscovered, re-examined, and put on display 100 years after their first appearance. They have been labeled as frauds by scientists and investigators several times since their discovery. Yet, these artifacts continue to inspire independent researchers who are certain that the artifacts contain important historical facts, facts that have profound religious and cultural implications. The artifacts are kept here in the Michigan Historical Museum. When they arrived at the museum in 2003, John Halsey was the Michigan State archaeologist. The task fell to Dr. Halsey to protect and preserve these artifacts that are a part of the largest archaeological controversy in American history.
The Michigan relics were a series of objects that were found in various parts of north central and southeastern Michigan, starting in 1890 and running up to about 1920. The first ones that we're aware of were discovered by a man named James Scotford, who discovered a clay cup while digging fence posts up near Wyman in Montcalm County. Scotford went about the community showing these things off and getting the people really excited about these artifacts that he had discovered out there. So a number of people in the local community went out with Scotford, dug into small mound-like rises, probably not really true burial mounds, but they started finding things, finding copper things, finding slate objects. And so this led some of the city fathers to say, hey, there may be some money to be made in this. And under the tutelage of Scotford, they went out and did a whole lot more digging and found a whole lot more stuff. Their goal in doing this was to sell these things to the Smithsonian Institution. But before they did this, somebody said, maybe we ought to have somebody who knows something about artifacts look at these. And they got a professor from Lake Forest College in Illinois to come up and look at them. And he looked at them, but not for very long before said, these are fakes. And then not just fakes, they're bad fakes. Guys, you got really nothing here. And they dissolved the Archaeological Trust, and it probably should have died right then.
It was not the end of the story, however, as
Pay close attention, y'all. Y'all see this sign right here? Y'all see these letters, these 3 letters? Do y'all know what these letters are? We're going to get into the mystic symbol today. We're going to find out what this means. And I want to reveal something to y'all. You see how I go this way? Look like an I, look like an H, look like a T, tilted. It's actually read right to left. I'm going to show you that this is the mystic symbol. This is the sacred sign of the Creator given by the great prophet of America to the Aboriginal American. So they're trying to tell y'all that these are from the Mediterranean and all that. But remember, they also tell you that there was at one time where the world spoke one language. Well, what was that language? What was the language? I bet you it's spoken the same in the West as the East, but they write it different. How you know, Cosmon? What does this even say, Cosmon? This is the sacred symbol. It's on everything. They found over 30,000 pieces or relics. It's on every one of them. Huh? How did they get this name? Where did they get this name? When did they get this name? Who gave it to them? What is this symbol? What does it even say? It's read right to left. It says, eh. This sign here is go. This sign in the middle is go. And this is queen. So this says go, queen. We pronounce that using our anglicized English version of language today and say Al, Gon, Quinn. This is the sacred name of the creator. E, O, Ah. The Jehovah is in the American Paleo-Phoenician, which is called Yeehaw. You ever wonder where they got that from? That's the name of this language. It's called Yeehaw. It's Phoenician based. This is why it looks like the Phoenician. This is why it looks like the cuneiform. This is why it looks like the Egyptian hieroglyph, because it is its precursor. Go, queen. We're gonna show that too. Cosmondos don't be making it up. But I want y'all to see that it's on everything. We're going to show you why.
Scotford would continue to show up with artifacts for the next 30 years.
He eventually moved to Detroit, and suddenly he started finding artifacts in the Detroit area. But now the artifacts they were finding had begun to turn more to slate.
Look. Did y'all see it? Watch this.
Had begun to turn.
Y'all see it? Y'all see the name? Y'all see the mystic symbol here?
More to slate and copper.
By 1906, Scotford was listed in the Detroit City Directory as a painter of signs. In that same directory was the listing for a Daniel E. Soper, who listed his profession as investments. Soper would become a dominant player in the story of the Michigan relics. Soper was a flamboyant personality with a dubious past.
Soper was a former Michigan Secretary of State who had been forced out of office because of some questionable activities. He had taken up the cause of the relics, and eventually Soper became the promotional guy for it, sort of a low-grade P.T. Barnum. He was really promoting these things.
On many of the Michigan artifacts were images of what looked like biblical scenes, indicating a Judeo-Christian people.
It's what looks like. It's what looks like a Christian scene, but is it Christian? How could it be in the Americas? Mind you, I'm telling you, this is 4000 BC. This is 3953 BC. Before Egypt. Sumer just coming on the scene. This is already over here in America. Look, see it? Go, queen. Huh? We're going to show that these are Americans dealing with other people, right? This is trade, right? These stories was documented here, buried here. So they were written in the language here. Watch this.
Soper showed the artifacts to the highly regarded pastor of Holy Trinity Church in Detroit, the Reverend James Savage.
Father Savage, he really believed these things were legitimate antiquities, and his stated position was, I'd rather collect these things and have them seen eventually as a fraud than lose something that was really legitimate.
Father Savage wondered if the artifacts were connected to the lost tribes of Israel. Seeing the biblical images and the mysterious...
See it? See the flood imagery? We already had this here. This didn't come from the East. This is from here.
Writings. Father Savage became committed to preserving the artifacts that promised an astounding historical tale. He would purchase all the artifacts that came to him. James Scottford and Daniel Soper were the source of those artifacts. These artifacts, depicting biblical scenes, also drew the attention of members of the Church of Latter-day Saints.
Well, Mormons have this belief that in addition to the Bible, that there are other scriptures. And the other scriptures, known as the Book of Mormon, basically talks about a group of people that left Jerusalem and ended up in the New World somewhere. And so whenever some archaeological find comes along that talks about large civilizations with roads and buildings and cities in the New World, they get excited about it. The Michigan relics have three main groupings. Some are made of clay, some are made of slate, carved.
Sign of the Creator. What story are they telling?
Slate, and some are made from copper. For the Mormons, to find copper plates with inscriptions was reminiscent of the original text of the Book of Mormon, which was not on copper plates, but on gold plates. So when Mormons heard about plates with inscriptions, they were quite excited, because here's verification of what they had been thinking about and talking about ever since the 1830s.
While the discovery of the relics would generate excitement, they also
want y'all to pay attention to the text. See how these letters almost look like K's? Like that? See that with these multiple sticking out points? This one got 3, this one has 2, this one has 1. This one has 1, 2 with one that's crossed. It probably means 5 or 10. I think this is a date. But I want y'all to notice how the lettering looks. All right? So I'm going to show y'all something in Owaspy. It's going to blow your mind. See, almost how they look like feathers almost. See the language? I'm going to show you what this is and why it looks Egyptian, why it looks Phoenician, why it looks Sumerian, why it's cuneiform written. It's written cuneiform. Watch this.
so produced frustration. The artifacts promised the great potential of filling in some biblical mysteries, and yet no one could read the artifacts.
What made the Michigan relics distinctive was, first of all, almost all of them had a very distinctive mark, a series of actually scratches, which eventually became known as the mystic symbol. We don't know what it was supposed to be. If you look at it quickly, it has something like the IHS, the Christian IHS. What distinguishes them, moreover, is the size of some of the objects, and particularly the slate objects. They're large, they're heavy, and they, in many cases, also have what has been called writing, lots of symbols, but it is not in any of the known Indo-European languages.
Interpreting the languages on the tablets would prove to be the most enigmatic aspect of the Michigan relics. One interested Mormon of the day was the Bishop Rudolf Etzenhauser.
He was a member of a break-off group from the Mormon Church, and he was a bishop.
Etzenhauser was very enthusiastic about the discovery of the relics in Michigan. He even joined Soper on a dig. Etzenhauser commissioned a pamphlet of photographs of artifacts, hoping the writing on the relics would come to the attention of someone who could interpret them. The pamphlet contained good quality photos and some information about the dates and site locations for the discovery of the artifacts. There is also a portrait of a studious Daniel Soper examining an artifact. Etzenhauser's credit to Soper would prove ironic.
To Daniel E. Soper belongs the credit of having been for several years the moving spirit in the investigation of these prehistoric relics of Michigan.
How did they go about finding these things? Well, they would sometimes come into a new town, and they would contact the local sheriff, chief of police, maybe a local minister, postmaster, and would say, we've got these very interesting prehistoric relics, and we think we're going to find some more in your area based on our long experience with finding these. Would you be interested in going out with us? You seem like an educated man. Like to see what you think.
So they'd get together a team of respectable people, and they would go to the appointed spot. They'd say, okay, well, let's dig. And Scottford would say, okay, well, gentlemen, you go rest in the shade for a minute, and I'll start digging. And so he would dig, and then he'd go thump, thump. Oh, come here. I think I found something. And he would say to them, here, you excavate. And then they would uncover these artifacts.
And of course, he believed that this thing was real. He'd found it. He'd lifted it out of the ground with his own hands. There was no way that it could be a fake. And then Soper and Scottford would say, well, we're really having a lot of trouble with the archaeologists. They say these things are fake. Would you mind signing
Just what remained of Soper's collection of artifacts. Archaeology was still in its infancy, but there were several professors of science that were angered by what they saw as a blatant perpetration of fraud being foisted upon the American public. Together, these distinguished academics formed a committee to expose the Michigan relics. In 1911, they published their findings in a scholarly journal of the day, the American Antiquarian, thoroughly denouncing the validity of the relics. In addition, on July 28, 1911, in a front-page Detroit News article, Professor Frederick Starr, Dean of the Department of Anthropology and American Archaeology at the University of Chicago, very publicly declared the prehistoric relics were fakes. Soper was undeterred by the academics, and with the help of Scottford, he continued to discover relics until 1920. In all, it is claimed that from 1890 to 1920, as many as 3,000 to 9,000 relics were found in 17 counties in Michigan. Soper retired to Chattanooga, Tennessee, where he began referring to himself as Colonel Soper, and continued his celebrity with appearances at social events where he regaled prominent individuals with reports on the ancient artifacts he had discovered in Michigan. Soper died in 1922, leaving a large collection of artifacts. Father Savage died in 1927, also leaving a large collection of the Michigan relics. Father Savage's collection ended up in storage at Notre Dame University in South Bend, Indiana, where they would sit for 30 years, mostly forgotten. It was in the late 1950s when the artifacts in storage at Notre Dame came to the attention of a Mormon church leader in Salt Lake City, Milton Hunter. Hunter asked to examine some of the artifacts, and the university obliged his request, eventually sending him the entire collection. Hunter also purchased what remained of Soper's collection. Combined, the artifacts came to be known as the Soper Savage Collection. Hunter studied the artifacts until his death in 1975 and willed the entire collection to Brigham Young University, where it was stored but unexamined for another 20 years. At the heart of the controversy about the Michigan relics is the question, how did these artifacts get here, and who made them? At the turn of the 20th century, it was commonly held by archaeologists that the oceans had acted as barriers to isolate the Americas from the rest of the world, and that the only cultures in North America, before Columbus, were Native American. And yet, these artifacts are clearly not Native American.
They
The idea of
clearly
the
are.
oceans as barriers is known as the isolationist theory. Counter to the isolationist theory is the idea that humans have traveled and spread their cultural influences in every direction, especially where there were waterways. This is known as the diffusionist theory.
See, they think everything came from there to here. No, we already had it here. Right? Let's go look into, right? First of all, when are we? Right? Let me go into this. Open up a quick open up this tablet real quick. All right, let me make sure everybody can see that. All right, let me blow this up. When are we? We are in the time of Iwata. Right? When is the time of Iwata, the great American prophet? Cosmon, let's go over here and look. Oh, we see Abraham, Brahma, Poe, and who? The great prophet of America, Iwata, right? So, Iwata of America, Poe of China, Brahma of India, and Abram of Persian Africa, right? This is why they always get them mixed up. Because they're contemporaries, right? So we are in the, let me show you, this is the arc, right? We are in the arc, which is roughly a 3,000 year span of time down here in the 23rd arc called Spita, which is the time of the great American prophet Iwata. So we are here. They were born at the same time. Brahma, Iwata, Poe, and Abram. They were born at the same time, and they did their works at the same time. So the gathering of a people and moving into the land that will become Egypt was done by Abram. Exactly starting 3953 BC. He was 40 years old. The same exact time, Brahma, and he's putting together who would become the Israelites. Right? The tribes of Iz and Zerah. Abram brought them together. This is why you're called Israelites and why you carry the Egyptian term today, because you went to the land that will become Egypt. So they called you, instead of Israel, right? It's Israel. Same thing. It means a praiser of the Great Spirit. So at the same time, Abram was bringing the people together in Africa, right? They're going to put together the Israelite stocks, right? Brahma was doing the same thing in India. Poe was doing the same thing in China, and Iwata was doing the same thing in America, right? Because during this time, right, previous to this time, previous to 3953 BC, right here, war from the false god Uhura, who is remembered by the Aboriginal Americans in our ancient tales called Itura. Look for the tales of Itura, the false god. He will equate to what would be like Christianity, but mind you, this is between 7,000 and 4,000 BC. But we were down here in the third arc cycle, which is a 2,400 year span of time, called Spita. Right? And this was from 5,800 years before 1848 AD. Right? So 6,000 years ago is the time we're talking about. Let's go see what Iwata is telling the people 6,000 years ago, right? 3953 BC, Iwata is telling them what? Iwata, this is Book of the First Gods, 27 and 46. Iwata gathered the fighting tribes into villages and taught them what? Writing and engraving. So in 3953 BC, they were already writing in America and engraving. Right? We already know that Michigan has the biggest copper deposit in the world, and that we have a special kind of copper that has its own genetic signature, which is sliced with a little bit of what we call tin. So this is how we know Michigan and the people did trade with each other, because we find Michigan copper in the with the Mycenaeans. We find it with the Egyptians. We find it with the early Sumerians. We find it with the Etruscans. Right? Michigan copper is different than any other copper in the world. And we find it in these ancient places where most of them have megalithic buildings, by the way. These ancient copper, bronze era. This is pre-bronze era. This is this is copper, the beginning of the copper era. This is 3953 BC. Look what he's teaching them. He's teaching them writing and engraving. And look, he taught, where's my thing? He taught them the sacred name of the Great Spirit. And what is it? Ego quim. Hold on. Let me show you. I know it's in here. It's on everything. Let me give you a good picture of it. Here you go. I'm going to leave that up there, and I'm going to just read this. He taught them writing and engraving. Is this a writing? If this is engraved writing, right? Hit me with a 1 in the chat. If this is engraved writing that you're looking at right now, hit me with a 1 in the chat. Right? He says also that he taught them the secret name of the Great Spirit. So we looking at the mystic symbol, the name of the Great Spirit right here. Hold on. What did he say they was called? He said he taught them the name of the Great Spirit. Ego quim. Y'all see that? Hold on, let me move this over. He taught them the secret, the mystic name or symbol of the Great Spirit, which is Ego quim. Remember, in the Americas, we were praisers of the Great Spirit only. And then I'm going to show you why it comes from the Americas, right? And this is key right here. See, the great American prophet right here, great American prophet explained the moon to them and how to keep the seventh day for worship or Sabbath, right? So if he explained the moon to them, what is he doing? He's giving them science. He's giving them astrology and cosmology, if not also cosmogony. But at least the science of astrology and cosmology was explained to them because he explained the moon to them. How do we know that in the Americas, the moon was explained to the people, right? Because right here on these Michigan tablets, you're going to see that they have moon calendars, not sun calendars. How do you specify, right? Anybody know? I'm gonna ask the question. This for extra points right here, right? How do you differentiate a sun calendar, right, from a moon calendar? Let me know in the chat, right? Because remember, well, look what he's saying. Look what he's saying. And Iwata explained the moon to them. So he gave them the astrology, the cosmology of the moon. Now we can just simply look at it. What's the difference, right? Between how do you tell if a calendar is of the sun or if it's explaining the moon? How do you tell? Anybody? I see some answers coming in. The solar eclipse. I see some answers coming in. Honor and humility say the days are different in number. You more on point, right? Say the length of days per month, length of weeks. You getting there, y'all getting there, y'all hitting at it. But it's something real simple. How you tell a sun calendar, the astrology of the sun from the astrology of the moon. Here we go, just me. Here we go, but how do you tell a calendar is different? Huh? What are months? They're moon days, right? The difference between a moon calendar and a sun calendar is a sun calendar only has 12 months. A moon calendar has 13 months. Count it up. Count it up. So if Iwata was not explaining the moon to these people in 3953 BC, right? We're going to show that they was already getting copper 7000 BC. We're going to go and show that, right? They was already getting the copper and stuff. But we're going to show that the moons and the moon cycle was explained to them. So we shouldn't see no 13-month calendars. That's very specific. A moon calendar has 13 months. Yes. Yes. Remember, the moon cycle and the sun cycle not the same. Right? Right? And if you do an average of 28 days, count it out. That's 13 months. So when we look at these Michigan relics, we should never see a calendar. Ever, ever, ever. They got 13 months on it, especially with engraved writings on it, especially with the secret name of the Great Spirit, Echo Quim, written on it. We should not see that, right? And yet, when we look, this is from the Mysterious Relics of Michigan, right? Hold on, let's go back up. Written by Chad Stumke, right? Let's go back down. Right? It says not all relics were tablets, right? This is a table. Now, look what it says. Let's see if I can blow it up just a little bit. Before the actual look, languages were analyzed. Hold on, wait a minute. Let me start here. Because remember, they got people who was hating on it. You dig what I'm saying it was fake. You dig what I'm talking about? These are all made up, and you dig what I'm talking about. But remember, these are made by people who couldn't read the language. They didn't know what they were looking at. Right? We're gonna go and show you that they think this is a hodgepodge of jumbled language. I'm going to show you that language, that's hodgepodge jumbled up language, to them is Phoenician. Watch this. Let's blow this up. Come on, Doug. All right, let's blow this up real quick. Right. It says, as noted by Professor Jastrow, this is from the mystic symbol, Mark of the Michigan Mound Builders. Right. Let me see if I can drop this in the chat. Hold on one second. Copy. I'll drop this in the chat. All right. So y'all can grab this up real quick. But this is from the book Mystics, the Mystic Symbol. Mark, listen, of the Michigan Mound Builders. You think it's a coincidence? Who is he teaching? Right? Who is he about to teach? As noted by Professor Jastrow, letters were a what? A horrible mixture. It's one of the haters. He said they were a horrible mixture of what? Ancient Greek, Phoenician, cuneiform, or Egyptian hieroglyphs. So we already told you this is 3953 BC, so ain't no Greek. Ain't no Greek. Right? Cuneiform is just now starting. They're only about 50 years from the Anu temple being built around 4000 BC. They're called the White Temple. What you're going to find out is that, look at this, watch this. Watch me do this. Phoenician cuneiform is Egyptian hieroglyph. Let it sink in. How you know, Cosmine? How you know it's Phoenician? You just can't say it's Phoenician. It's a hodgepodge language. And these niggas don't even know. I'm going to tell you again. Ain't no Greek. Wasn't no Egyptians yet in 3900 BC. What you're going to see is Phoenician cuneiform, which is a carved or engraved pressed writing style, is Egyptian hieroglyph. Watch this. Yet Coptic had its origin in a similar fashion, a fusion of Egyptian with later Greek. That becomes Coptic. Few early writings were pure anything for, hold on. Hold on. Okay. Bring it back on. For all people borrowed from one another by the way of commercial intercourse, depending on mutual convenience of understanding. So what they're trying to tell you is the language of the learned. 6,000 BC. 7,000 to 4,000 BC was Phoenician. This is the time where every man spoke the same language. We're going to show you. Cosmon don't say nothing he can't show you. Right? For all people borrowed from one another by the way of commercial intercourse. Didn't I tell you it was trade? Shout out to Straight Smoke. Depending on mutual convenience of understanding. Insofar as mixtures of letters and words are concerned, English itself presents an excellent example. Everyday words as kindergarten, borrowed from German. Garage, borrowed from French. Smorgasbord, borrowed from Swedish. Pronto, fiesta, and siesta from Spanish. Why then should a mixture of what? Phoenician, Greek, cuneiform, or hieroglyph provokes sarcasm? Various tablets written in the ancient Semitic manner from right to left, didn't I tell you? Commingled with inscriptions. We talking about these Michigan relics. Look, right here on the cover. Right? We're going to go down here. Commingled with inscriptions written. Now look, there go some of these mystic symbols. Now these is slate shuttles, like almost like you put sticks in these, and almost using like axes or hammers. But look what else they got. Made in copper. They got copper compasses, copper axes and hammers. All right. Now, it's commingled with inscriptions written in Bostrophodon wise. That is, right? The first line is read right to left, and then you start left to right, and then right to left, and left to right, and that's how you read it. That's why it's called Bostrophodon, because a bostroph is a cow or an ox. Right? So they call it oxwise, like how an ox plows a field. Watch this. That is the first line read from right to left, and the second line from left to right, and the third line from right to left, and so on. Bostrophodon means as the ox plows. Up one line and down the next. Bostrophodon writing is characteristic of Eastern Mediterranean countries from the earliest times. So now we got but it's also characteristic of American writings, right? And this is why they try to hide these dates, because it's beyond the time that they can reckon for, right? They want to put everybody in this little nice little cubby hole, and we find stuff like this and it doesn't fit. And one writing Phoenician letters might well have been expected to have written in Bostrophodon manner. Look, we're going to show that that's how they wrote on these tablets. The second group, and we're going to show that it's Phoenician, and they're even saying it. Now, they know it's Phoenician, right? They got some stuff they say it looked like hieroglyphs. They got some stuff to say that look like Greek. Not that it is Greek, but it looked like it. Now, on the second group, tablets containing both pictures and writing, like the three major groups themselves, fell into three general groups: biblical, battle scenes, and what? Calendar records. How did you get calendar records if you have no understanding of the moon? Why do you think they call this place Turtle Island? Why do you think they call this place Turtle Island? Because the knowledge of the turtle is the knowledge of the moon. If you look at the back of a turtle, on the inside, it has 13 sections representing the 13 months of the moon. And guess what? On the outside of every turtle, except like the loggerhead, the big soft-shelled turtles, right? But every land turtle, right, has 13 sections in the middle and 28 sections around the outside. And those are used as days of the month. This is why they call it Turtle Island. It's a knowledge. Watch this. You're going to think I'm capping. Watch this. Watch this. Hold on, I want to get a good vision. I want a good picture. Hold on, let me get a good picture. Look, stop. Look, I can't make this up. I can't make this up. Look, lunar calendar on a turtle's back. Many First Nations teachings include those of the Anishinaabe right up here in Michigan and the Haudenosaunee. Didn't we just bring out the Iroquois? Who still today call themselves Angwi? Right? They use what? The back of a turtle shell as a lunar calendar. You making it up, Cosmon? You just making it up. The Bible stories, mainly Old Testament, appealed most strongly to these artists, are the majority of whom seemed obsessed with the legend of Noah and his ark. What did Jaja said? My people will keep the history of the great flood. Didn't he tell the Ions? They will keep the understanding and the knowledge of Noah's ark, the ark of Noah. Folklore, the typified reliance replaced on God's promise to keep his covenant with Noah. The creation tower of Babel, the confusion of tongues, never faltered in portraying scenes, detail, right? You're going to find out that a Babel happened here in America. It was the fall of the Yeehaw language, right? Why was there a confusion of tongues? Huh? Why a Babel? We're going to show that this great Babel primarily only happened in two places, in India and in America. Both of them spoke the Yeha language, right? We would call it Proto-Vedic. You dig what I'm saying? Over there in East India, it would be your Proto-Vedic script, right? Why did it fall? For the same reason that the languages in America failed. They were compound languages. For instance, right? Let's say I'm from the Anishinaabe, right? When I got 5 tribes around me, but we call bread da, right? The people around me may call it da. He call dog over here call it wa. He call it sa. The other this guy call it d, and this guy call it do. Right? So when we dealing, I deal with the first partner. He call it I call it da. He call it wa. So now it's dawa. But if we doing a deal with another person who call it sa, now it's dawasa. Just to say one word. And then remember, we got the guy who say do. So now the name for in the Yeha, which is a compound language, right? So now it's dawa we so d d dawa so d to say bread. And then you got dawa so we do with this guy over here because he called bread dough. You see what I'm saying? So this is how the language ended up compounding, and without a base language for people to grow from and to be able to speak and communicate with each other, great advancement never happens. So we always see a fall, a babble, right? The language, the two languages is the compound language over here. This is why we get such great names over here. Lava Hutsanatsi, Wabasin, Kukukanka. We had them crazy ass names over here in America, but they had the same thing over there in India. You dig what I'm talking about? Your name is Mahabharata. You see what I'm saying? It's the compounding of the language which makes the words very long and hard to remember. And there's no unity. And it becomes confusion over time. And hence it must fall. Right? The creation of Tower of Babel, confusion of tongues, never faltered in the portraying scenes, detail of which can be read today in the Old Testament, a close and acquaintanceship with legendary material ranging from Abraham and the Sidicus bird that spoke with the tongues of humans associated with the confusion of tongues at the Tower of Babel. Right? Hold on one second. Now, I'm going to go down here to the third group. The third group, calendars, again, uniformly contain what? 13 months. And they read what? Counterclockwise. As was true of both the Near East and Oriental countries. This lends credence to what the young Aboriginals been saying, that people from America went over there to Egypt. That the peoples from America, like the Caribs, are really the Phoenicians. I believe the Phoenicians are the Phoenicians, but the Caribs and the Phoenicians would have definitely dealt with each other if they came in contact, because they're both Negroes. There's not an African and an American. Nope, they're both Negroes. The Asiatic Negro and the American Negro. They would have looked just alike. said, we shouldn't see none of this, though. How will Waspi know this? In 1882. The third group calendars, again, uniformly contain 13 months and read counterclockwise as true both Near Eastern and Oriental countries, incised with delicate line of metallic compass. Each of the 13 segments fell into equal divisions, normally divisions not possible without the use of some type of protractor. We just seen we got compasses. We know we got the protractor, and the level here already in America, 7,000 BC. How you know, Cosmo? How you know it was here 7,000 BC? Let's go back and go look at this. Now, this is before the time of Iwata, right? This is before the time of Iwata. This is during the Ark of Lu. Remember, Iwata, Abram, Poe, and all of them was already 40 in 3953 BC. So that means, what year were they born? In 3993. Let me show you again. Did you get what I just showed you? That means they were born previous to 3953. They would have been born 3993 if they were 40 in 3953. So that means they were born in the Ark of Lu. They did their work in Spita, because right here when they turned 40. But we talking about a time in between 7,000 and 4,000 BC. Watch this. Look what's going on in America. In those days, in the Ark of Lu, between 7,053 BC and 3953 BC, in those days, the kings of America, Gautama, and the learned men set their hearts on building canals. The Mississippi, the Rio Grande, the Ohio, the Chattahoochee. You did what I'm talking about. The Columbia. These great rivers, these are great canals. They were hand carved. This is 7,000 BC. In those days, right? Kings and learned men set their hearts on building canals. This is how you got big props. This is what the big dogs did. You know what I mean? Today, we come out, we push big, we push big whip. You dig what I'm talking about? Pull up in the range. You dig what I'm talking about? You dig what I'm saying? The Rolls Royce, the Maybach. Just like men today set their hearts on getting that nice whip, that old school with the switches. Back then, to show you was big dog, you created the Mississippi. Damn. Nigga, you carved the Tennessee River. Y'all not understand what's going on. In those days, 9,000, not 6,000, 9,000 years ago, kings and learned men set their hearts on building rivers and finding places and roadways for them. And the great glory and honor of man at that time lay in this achievement. This is why America is carved up with waterways. They were literally transportation highways. Look, and God, right? Gichi, perceiving the virtue and wisdom of men, sent his angels to teach men the mystery of canal making, to teach him to what? Compound clay with lime and sand to hold water. Do anybody know what this is? This is concrete. 7,000 to 4,000 BC. He said he sent the high-raised angels to teach men the mystery of canal making, to how to compound clay with lime to make what? Concrete. This is hydraulic cement. What I'm trying to tell you is the Mississippi was dredged. The Ohio River was dredged. And if you dig deep enough, you're going to smack right dab into some concrete. How? It's so old, it's under the dirt. You got to think about it, it's 9,000 years old. But we had concrete back then. What'd he say? Hold on. What the man say? He said, let me show you. Share this tab. He said, they was car. Hold on. See the compass? Hold on. He said, Okay, here you go. It said these tablets, right, are incised with the delicate line of a metallic compass. So we've already found one in the mounds in Michigan, made out of copper, right? Let's go see what else they say you would have to need during this time. I'm showing you 3,000 years before that we already had it. Watch this. They said you would incise with the delicate line of a metallic compass. Each of the 13 segments fell into equal divisions. Normally, divisions not possible without the use of some type of protractor. Watch this. Now, this is what they're talking about. Let's back out of this just a little bit. I want to show y'all something. Iwata said, I explained the moon to them in 3953 BC and how to keep the seventh day for worship. Ain't no way this thing better have found in Michigan. This thing better not have 13 months on it. It better not. Watch this, though. This is what they ain't figured out. Watch this. It's numbered. This the crazy part. It's numbered. I got to show y'all this. This is so crazy. Watch this. I want to blow that up. Make sure y'all can see that. Look. 1. See that? Remember, we got to go counterclockwise. This bet not have 13 months. Look at the language. Look like Egyptian, look like Greek, look like a whole bunch of mixed up stuff, don't it? Look like a confused language, like Petrol told you. Look, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I ain't lying. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Look, the sacred name of the Creator, the great mystic symbol. Now I want y'all to look at this writing. I want to show you. I'm gonna show y'all something real quick, and then y'all just get a quick glance on this writing. See how it's kind of sticky, how it looks like it's kind of pokey and curvy. It's got these little like staffs and squiggles and these little crooked lines. You dig what I'm saying? I want to show y'all something real quick. Hold on. Where's this at? Hold on. I gotta get to it. It's the Book of Sapphire. Quick, be fast, mind them. All right, my computer was acting a little slow, y'all. Okay. The computer want to act a little slow today, y'all. All right. First things first, I want to show y'all this. The tree of language. Right? I want to show y'all way down here at the roots of the tree of language. You have Pan, the Panic language. Well, the Panic language is the animal or the thing tells you what it is. Right? So the very first cows would have been called moo. The very first dogs would have been called ruff or bark, depending on where you at. The very first snakes would have been called. And then we see major languages we've never even known about. Pan, the poet, the Gao, the Hiut, the Fus, right? Then we see right here, this is one. The second sprout is the ancient Chinese. The third sprout, running right along with each other, look, is the Yeehaw, right? The Veda, the Sanskrit going on right here in America. And how do we know that these guys, because right here on this fourth branch, look what's up here. Algonquin have been going alongside with the Yeehaw, right? But look, right here, along with the Yeehaw in the eastern states is the Abrahamic languages, and then Phoenician, and then Ahamic. This is the language Abraham spoke. Ahamic, not Abrahamic, Ahamic. Ebra is the Phoenician times the Ahamic, which makes Ebra, or the language that they mistaken as Medu Neter, or is the Egyptian tongue in truth. And out of that, you get your what? Your Hellestian dynasties, your languages, your Hebrew, your Greek, all that comes straight out of Egypt. Watch this. So let's get back to this real quick. Let me close this down. I think some of this stuff is slowing my stuff up. All right, so let's get back to this. During 7,000 BC, this 9,000 years ago, 7,000 BC, we already got concrete, right? Remember, he said they also needed some type of protractor, right? To make these lines, not just the perfect circles with the compass, but the lines that cut through them. Whoa, hold on, let me go back. Right? See this? See the let me back out. Can I back out a little bit? Hold on, y'all. All right. Now y'all see the perfect circle being made. We know those are only made by compasses, but he's saying, see these perfect lines, these sections? He's saying that could only be made by a protractor, some sort of level. Do we have that in America 9,000 BC? Let's go show it, Cosmon. Give a damn what they talking about, because they just talking. They just talking. Hold on. Where was we at? Now we already see that they building canals, great rivers. You dig what I'm talking about? And lacing them with concrete on the bottom so they'll hold and water can flow down them, right? So they gotta teach man the Gao. See this? What is Gao? I.e., to what? To find the amount of slope or drop or rise in elevation. This is how rivers flow. It's not by mystical, magical stuff. Man make them happen like that. But look what they had right here. Uh-oh. See, this is the plumb bob. But look what they had here. The level. Remember they said we needed some type of protractor. Huh? This is the level. Proving that right here in America, we the first Masons. This is why you see the pyramids way older than anybody else's here. Megalithic structures so old, they don't even know how old this stuff is. All right? But I just showed you how they made them concise circles and precise lines with the level. We already see they had the compass, right? To teach man to find the Gao, the slope, the rise in elevation, and the level, and the force of water. The angels also taught man to what? Make pots and kettles, and to do what? Burn the clay in suitable shapes. Now, the funny thing about Michigan clay is we have the purest in the world. And you can just pick our clay right up off the top and heat it up and mold it without smelting. This is why they were led up to northern Michigan to find this special vein, because there's none like it. Now, they have some deep in the earth that you might have to smelt, but this is 9,000 BC. How are you smelting anything? See? They're trying to sell us short. But look what the Creator is saying. I taught y'all in between 7,000 and 4,000 BC, right? To make pots and kettles and to burn the clay in suitable shapes, right? We talking about pots and pans and all type of stuff and silverware and all that stuff. And to what? Find copper ore and find silver ore. This is before Iwata gave him the prophecy. We already had this in America, 7,000 BC. Let that sink in. We already knew how to find the copper ore and silver and gold and lead. For the floors of the oracle chambers, clean and shining white, suitable for angels. They taught man how to what? How to soften copper like dough. Told you up here, all you got to do is heat it. And it'll turn like dough. You can mold it. How to harden copper? Like flint. Rocks for axes and mattocks for building canals. A mattock is like a shovel. They taught man how to work the ore in the fire and melt it, right? Melting is different than smelting. Melting just heats the pure rock up. Smelting takes all the different materials and separates them from the copper. Two different things, right? We knew both 9,000 years ago. I'm talking about a prophecy from 6,000 years ago. I'm talking about 9,000 years ago. We already had this. And how to make lead into sheets, how to make it soft like cloth. This is what they're not teaching you, right? What do you want to tell them? I explained the moon to them. I gave them astrology and cosmology and how to keep the seventh day for worship. And I taught them the sacred name, the mystic symbol right here. Right here. Now, I want to find this. I want to go a little further. Right now, this is from Mysterious Michigan, and dope lady who got into this work. But this is written by Chad Stunke. This is from Mysterious Michigan. Right, I want to go down here a little bit. All right. It says, before the actual languages were analyzed, Henrietta, the lady who did this study in 85-ish, 86-ish, right? Remind you, she came back after the guys in the 1890s said, oh, this is just fake. Anyway, right? So she came back and actually looked at the work. She says, before the actual languages were analyzed, right? Henriette made some basic observations. Well, you need to make some basic observations and you doing scientific work, right? And trying to practice scientific literacy, correct? You need to do some basic. You need to just look at it. She says, the first and most obvious observation made, this is a dummy would have seen this, is what she's saying. The most obvious observation made was that every relic seemed to bear a 3-character symbol or mystic symbol. What did Iwata tell him? The secret name of the Great Spirit. Every tablet this is on, go, quim, or or. Matter of fact, this right here, is smack dab in the middle of our country. It's called Iowa. Named after the creator itself. She postulated that even they think this got something to do with God. Watch this. This is why they call it a mystic symbol. Even she postulated that this 3-character symbol may be akin to the Greek what? IHS or Jesus. But we know Jesus is a what? A I-S-U. Y'all see it? Which made its appearance around 312 AD. Right? They saying this is the symbol, right, of this cross. Right? Postulated to be the Greek symbol of Jesus, which made its appearance around 312 AD. Why is this date important? Come on, y'all. What happened in 312 AD? You see it? Do y'all see E? Oh, ah. Y'all see it? But what happened in 312 AD? Come on. Why is they saying this cross and all this stuff was for the very first time seen in 312? That's very specific. What's happening in 312 AD? Boom, Malachi Maccabee. I knew you was going to come with it. The Battle of Milvian Bridge. This is, remember, on the way to Milvian Bridge, Constantine in 312 AD fights Maxentius and is the last overthrow of the Roman gods, which were Baal at the time. And Christ, the false god, right, overthrew the ancient bloody gods of the Romans. 312 AD, Battle of Milvian Bridge. And remember, this is the very first time that Christ showed Constantine a cross. Remember, he showed it to his men and to Constantine in the air. They didn't know what the cross was. It's before the Christian Crusades. This is at the foundation of Christianity, the Battle of Milvian Bridge. If Christ loses this battle, we never even have Christianity. There is no way that Constantine can take the Mithridatic Roman politics and the Mithridatic religious titles of the kings and meld them to this admixed doctrine. You dig what I'm talking about? And create Christianity if he loses this battle in 312 AD. But remember, they said the first time we seen this is in 312 AD. Why? Because it's Constantine. We talking, but we talking 4,200 years before Constantine. See how they try to put you in a box? They trying to put you way down here. I just showed you we way back in 3953 BC. If that's the case, then this ain't Jesus. This is 3953 BC or anything before 0. Who is that? Why y'all never tell about the stuff that happened in America? Why don't y'all tell about our forefather, Zarathustra? He got hung on one of these. And guess what else he had? 2 thieves on the side of him. Oh. When he died, guess what happened? The temple was rent. Oh. But what y'all don't know is this is 7,000 years, 7,053 BC. Zarathustra is 7,000 years before Jeebus. 7,300 years before Jesus. Because remember, we ain't even got the Council of Nicaea yet. They ain't even invented Jesus yet. They ain't created this nigga yet. He ain't got no name yet. Not in 312. It's not till after 325 that he actually gets the name Estusor. Now today pronounced Jesus. Right? He says the tablets were then able to be categorized again into ones that were covered in writing, tablets containing writing and pictures, and those containing the pictures with few words. She then was able to categorize the relics containing both writings and depictions into 3 more groups: biblical, battle scenes, and what? Calendar records. Upon analysis, Henrietta noticed something almost immediately that others failed to recognize. She said one particular thing stood out. Even though the letters may be a mixture, the mixture itself appeared consistently uniform. Watch this. I'm going to show you why. Even though it look like it's a mixture, let me show you why it's a mixture. Watch this. Keep going, keep reading. Continue analysis. She discovered that the measured symmetry indicated that whoever engraved the plates must have been familiar with the language in which they wrote. It's not languages. Watch this. Languages, excuse me. It is languages, but you got to be fluent in all 3 or 4 or whatever it is that you wrote. She right. She felt that copied writing lacks fluency. So if you copying some shit, you ain't got no fluid writing. She right. As a writer, I know that this is true. If you ever wrote a rap, you know this is true. If you're trying to copy somebody else's stuff, it don't flow right. Copywriting lacks fluency, and no one could doubt that but one person engraved both sides and understood what he wrote with fluency, sureness, and no slight of hesitation. Henrietta claimed analysis, such as would be acceptable in any recognizable court, showed that the writing had not been forged. Each tablet had been written by a different hand, and no 2 tablets bore characteristics stemming from one single hand. Turning her attention to the larger questions, Henrietta began to focus on who could have manufactured these amazing relics, postulating that whoever inscribed the tablets must have had prior knowledge of the region. What region? Michigan. What, nothing but Indians up here. Nothing but Indians up here. Here, the link is made between the ancient copper mines on the Isle Royale, Michigan, and they carbon dating them back to 18 or 1000 BC. They way older than that. We showed 7,000 BC that they already found the copper mines in Michigan. Same ones. So 6,000 years before this date, we already mining copper, already mining lead, already mining. We already showed you. And the Greek and the Egyptians' extensive use of copper in the same period because they're using Michigan copper. Both the Greek Egyptian records, look, watch this. Both the Greek and the Egyptian records spoke of an alien people who were thought to be closely connected with the import of copper. We know these ain't nothing but Americans. Huh? Biggest copper mine in the world is where? Okay. Egyptian records had referred to them as the Keftiu or the Keftians. The Keftiu were said to be red-skinned, copper-colored, and came from the, listen, from the isles of the sea. It was believed that it took approximately 3 years to return with the copper from the Isle of the Sea, and it was postulated that these Skeptiu may have rolled upon Phoenician ships. Henrietta now has a possible explanation for an alien people who may have once visited North America and retain the knowledge. Now it is possible to speculate on who may have actually created and deposited the ancient Michigan artifacts. We already know they're Indians. Who are these copper people? We know the copper people in America, in Michigan. They are called the Okanto. Y'all don't know about that. Okanto means copper. The Okanto people, right? She said, let me go back. It says, she discovered that the symmetry indicated blah, 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 that whoever engraved the plates must have been familiar with the languages in which they wrote. Remember the languages. She felt that copywriting lacked fluency, and no one could doubt that. But one person engraved both sides and understood what he wrote with fluency, sureness, and no slight of hesitation. Analysis such as this would be acceptable in any recognizable court showed that the writing had not been forged. Right? But why is it all mixed up and jumbled up? Or why does it seem, right, to be mixed up and jumbled up? Because you don't know what you're looking at. Remember that book in the Bible that they always talk about? The book of the wars that the God of the Bible can't find? Remember that? Remember that book that the God can't find? The book of the wars? Well, it's in a Owaspy. And guess what? Guess where it's taking place? Let me show you the time. Hold on, where's my calendar? Where's my calendar? Let me show you where we at. 3953 BC to 1553 BC. Right? Guess where the wars against the creator take place? 3953 BC to 1553 BC. We right here, y'all. This is where we at. We done told you we done carved rivers and all this stuff way back here, 7,000. But we here right now. Huh? Let me see. Now, let's go back. Let's go back. Right? So I want to show you something before that. I'm going to show you why the language looks jumbled. And then I'm going to show you that the people that they anciently are claiming are Africans are actually Asiatic Negroes or Shemitic called Persians. They are aboriginal to the land in between the Zagros and the Himalayan mountains, what we call Persia today, where all your Irans, your Pakistans, your Uzbekistans, your Kazakhstans, your Irans, all your Ans. That is ancient Persia. Persia is the land between the three great lands, Africa, India, and Asia. Asia includes Russia. Huh? Ain't it mountains on both sides of Persia? All right. But look, let me show you why. You don't know what you're looking at. It's Phoenician. Y'all don't know where it come from or how old it is or why you can't speak any language in the world without phonetics. You can't do it. It's impossible. Every language in the world come from Phoenician. Let's prove it. In the ancient days, the gods had inspired the who? The who? The Persians to migrate towards the west. So we coming across the Zagros Mountains, right? Into what we would call Helest or Lower Canaan. This is where your Assyrian dynasties, your Turkic dynasties, the Levant, right? So he's telling the people from east of the Zagros Mountains to migrate west, right? Maybe I need to pull up. Hold on. Let me see. Let me pull up a Google map. Right? Because I want y'all to get what I'm talking about. Right? I want you to be able to see it. Right? I want y'all a key thing to always remember is what? I always tell y'all, key thing to remember is what? Everywhere continents meet, mountains rise up. Right? Okay. Now let me go show you where the ancient land of Persia is. The most mountainous region in the world should be where the most continents touch. If that's the case, right? Well, look what we got here. The most mountainous region in the world, anciently known as Persia. Huh? We got the Indus Mountains down here. We got the Hindu Kush Mountains over here. You got the Zagros Mountains right here. These are the Zagros, because this is where a continent touch another continent. And this is where India touches China, or right here. See what happens? The Himalayas, all the way up here, to what? What happens up here? The Altais. So from the land in between the great three lands, Persia. Hold on. Oh, damn, I wasn't even showing it. Let me show y'all one more time. Right? They said Persia is the land in between the great three lands. Here go land number one. Africa, anciently called Ham. This is the continent of Ham, and it includes the Middle East. This is Arabia. All of this is Arabia. All of it. Right? Anciently, this is called Ham. Around Abram's time, it take the name Arabia. North and South Arabia. Right? But this is all one continent. How do we know? Because it crashes into another great continent, which extends all the way up here. I want to show you, this is all Shem. This is Africa or Ham. Well, let me show you the other brother, Shem. Shem extends all the way from down here in the Javan Sea, all the way up through Vietnam, Thailand, Myanmar, all this, all anciently, all of India and Persia, all the way up here to Turkey, is all Shem. All this. Boom. See this middle land right here? All that is Shem. Right? Boom. 1, 2, 3. See where the continent touch right here? Everywhere a continent touch, a mountain range is. Right? So here go one continent, Ham. Here go the second continent, Shem. And here go big bro. China and Russia is Yafet. And the land between where the three sit is anciently called Persia. And if it is a fact that where continents touch, mountains create, right? Then this area should be the most mountainous region in the world. And guess what? It is. All of it. This is the Zagros. These are the Indus. These are the Hindus. All the way up here. So this land, Turkmenistan, Afghanistan, Pakistan, Uzbekistan, Iran, all these places are where the Negro of the East comes from. What was Abraham's daddy name? Terah. So shouldn't Terah come from Tehran? This is where the nigger of the East come from. There was a people aboriginal to everywhere. Don't matter if you say it was Noble Drew Ali. Don't matter if you say it was Master Farrar Muhammad. Don't matter if you say it was Malcolm X. Who all of them all taught of a Asiatic black man who was not the son of Ham, but was what? The son of Shem. It's all a landmass. The first niggas that walked over here became Israelites and Phoenicians. Right? I'm going to show you from across these Zagroses. Right? See these Zagros mountains right here? These is a massive mountain range. This thing is huge. The Zagros mountains go all the way down here. Right? Right? He's going to inspire a people to come out of Persia right here and go west. And they settle right here. And what we commonly know today as the West Bank, Lebanon, Syria. Right? And the Phoenician strongholds right here. Right here. Right? It's an easy move. Well, not easy, super easy. But you coming from this way. Right? Coming from that way. Let's go back. Where am I at? Okay. Let me show you. Here you go. Now, in the ancient days, the gods had inspired the Persians. Now we know who Persians are, right? So every time you hear the word Persian, you can say Phoenician, you can say Shemitic, you can say Black Asiatic, you can also say Negroes, because remember, Ham is the progenitor of the dark races, not the Negro. So there's got to be a Negro who, just like me and you, over there. Those people go on to produce people like Abraham, like Moses, right? Like Yeshua. That's the nigger of the East, is Persian. So know what you're talking about. All Persians are Shemitic or Negroidal. It's the same word. Notice they put these many titles on these peoples in both places. We also going to show who these Persian, Negroidal, Shemitic, Black Asiatics come to be. Watch this. In ancient days, God had inspired the Persians to migrate towards the west and inhabit the lands of Hellas. Also, a country of giants. So they had big old niggas in there. We hear about the stories of the Anakim, the Raphaim, the sons of and the brothers of Goliath. You dig what I'm talking about? Who are the sons of Og. You dig what I'm saying? So we see that that's not a far stretch. We've heard other stories where they say that they got giants over there, but less given to rites and ceremonies than Persians. And these Persians, they carried with them 3 languages. The most ancient language of Japheth. It looks and sounds Asian almost. Right? Almost, but this is how you sound it out. This is the language of sounding things out, or things sounding themselves out, and you name it what it names itself. And then we got the Vedic language of India, right? So we got something out of China, right? Out of Japheth. We got the Vedic language out of ancient Vindu or Hindustan, Bharata, right? Which are new names. This is the ancient name, Vindu. And the what? The Persian, which you're going to end up being called Phoenician or Sumerian. Watch this. So these Persians, these Negroes of the East, got a language that come from Asia, India, and a nigger language called Persian. And because they mostly use the same sounds between the Panic, the Vedic, and the Persian, right? They use the same sounds, but different written characters. Now you see why they saying it looks like it's a confused language? Because it sounds the same, but it has different written characters. What happened? A confused language sprang out of these called Phoenice. Who speaks Phoenice? All right. And the people thus speaking Phoenice were called Phoenicians. Now, today's historians, what little they know of the Phoenicians, know these people, or the ancient Persians, know these people as Phoenicians. Right? This is where Phoenician comes from. It's a compounded language in and of itself. Right? What does Phoenician mean? Right? Now, mind you, they're from Negroes, not from Hamitic Africans. I want you to know it comes from the Persian people, not the African. This is the black guy. This is the one of the dark races that is not from Ham. He's called Persian. And the people thus speaking it were called Phoenicians who spoke this Phoenice. And that is to say, what does Phoenician mean? We will use the same sounds. A, E, I, O, U. But use whatever written characters we choose according to our judgment. So now you see why they say. This is why they say. Hold on. It looks like a confused, mixed up language. No, they confused. Right? Because they don't actually know what they're looking at. Look. Hold on. They don't know what they're looking at. Look. They don't know what they're looking at. Check this out. They don't know what they're looking at. Huh? What'd he say? What does Phoenician mean? That is to say, we will use the same sounds. A, E, I, O, U, U. And sometimes why. But we only use that in America. Everybody else in the whole wide world, except the people who speak English, pronounce their letters A, E, I. I mean their vowels A, E, I, O, U. Everybody. Right? So we gonna sound the same. This is how they came over here and was able to speak to the American Indian by using the Hebrew. They were able to, with sign language and in a basis of Hebrew, understand each other. This is why, because the basis is Phoenician, because we will use the same sounds, but use whatever written characters we choose according to our judgment. Hence, Phoenician, or the Phoenice, is the first and oldest of mortal man-made languages. And this was styled in heaven as the period of emancipation of mortals from the dictatorship of angels in regard to written signs. Characters and words. Yahweh, the creator, has said, in that respect, man on earth has advanced enough to stand alone. And it was so. For from that time to this, from 3953 BC to now, neither the creator nor his angels have given any new language or written characters to mortals. And look what it say. In all languages, a couple of them, Cosma, yeah, maybe a few of them, no, all languages that have come from that time forward, 6,000, 9,000 BC onward, are only what? Let it sink in. Huh? They are only combinations, branches. Huh? Didn't we just show you the what? Didn't we just show you the tree of language? What did he say? What did it say? And from all languages that have come from that time onward are only combinations, branches, amalgamations, and malformations of what existed then 6,000 years ago on the earth. They don't know what they're looking at. Hold on. Let me Let me show you. Okay, it's here. Watch this. Now, this is a breakdown of the Yehiic language. I want to blow it up down here. These primaries would have been spoken right here in the Americas. Now, remember, these are languages of Phoenician, right? That basically comes from Asia, India, and Persia. Right? I want to show what am I showing right here? Let me. Okay. All right. I'm showing that. Now I want to show the tablets. I want you to take clear note of what we're looking at. Watch these little hooks. See these little hooks? These straight letters with the kickouts. Stuff that look like K's. Squiggle lines. The 3 lines pushing. The 4 lines. That look like water lines. I think that's probably Pisces or something. Wait a minute, actually. Where the fish at? I will be at the end. Here you go. This will be your so-called January, February, March. Look, the fish. And then look, here go the moon right here. Showing that this is a moon chart. But I want you to take a look at the writing. All right? Look at the primary. Look at it. Get a good look at this stuff. Because now I'm going to show you this. That's that Vedic script right there with the Hebraic and the Sanskrit primaries and the Yehiic. This would have been spoken in India and America. Almost look Chinese, don't it, right here? Look at how it look. Hold on, let me go back. Where I'm at. Let me go back. Look at how it look. Hold on. Look, here go the value of the sounds right here. Okay, y'all see that? Right here. Here go the primaries. Let me show you. Watch this. You make your mind up for yourself. Now look at the script. Look at the script. See the eye, all that. See the leg kick out and all that. Watch this. Let's go back. See the leg kick out. The leg kick out. Now look, here go the arm and the hand right here we was just looking at. I'm just saying, I'm not making this stuff up. This is in Owaski. Look. Look at this right here. I'm not making none of this up. You know what I mean? But what's happening? Taught them the sacred name of the Great Spirit, Echo Queen. We went and found that ancient name. Huh? We went and found it. Look, and this is what I want to show you too. To show you that we were way more advanced than what they talking about. Now I know, let me see if I can turn this maybe to the side or something. Okay. Maybe I can do it like this way. I want y'all to see what I'm looking at. Wait a minute. Let me blow this up. Watch this. What they doing? First of all, they got the name of the creator down here. Echo Queen. See? Echo Queen. E-O-A. Right? What are they doing? Anybody know what this is? If you from the South, especially from them hills, Kentucky, Tennessee, Virginia, North Carolina, you know what they doing. What is this? They making moonshine. The kettle pot with the dripper, catch the alcohol. You see the copper coils? They making shine. 3953 BC. Look, here go the rest of it. Look, he pouring the stuff down there and it's mincing it. It's breaking up the material to be put in the pot and melt down. Look, they're melting copper and smelting it, forming it, flattening it, hammering it. This is in Michigan. Look, big old copper steel right here, making that twine. They got that good drink over here. They making twine. And look, dog getting drunk. But to do that, to make this, you must have copper pots, copper piping, copper tubing. Look at the tubes. How are you making this? We see, but look, this is a machine. Look at it. I know it's sideways. This is a guy. Look, this is a man standing right here, dumping a material into a catch basket on the top of a machine that is pulley driven. Being driven by a pulley. Right? He's standing on a platform that is obviously dumping a material down. But while he's doing that, look, it's making a byproduct. But it's a machine. Look, they even got when you catching tailings. When you catching tailings from when you doing smithing. They're on a type of platform or some type. It's either catching or it's letting air up to feed into this, but I think this is already hot. And they're just whack, 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 flattening the material out. But dog getting this, he's smoking that tweed, feeling fine right here. I just want to show y'all what's really going on. They said these wing fingers, they call them moonshine or copper refining. I think they're doing both. By the way, what's this? What's this, y'all? Go, Queen. He said, I'm going to teach them what? The sacred name of the Great Spirit. Cosmon ain't making none of this up. So that language that they talking about is confused and look all jumbled up. What is it, y'all? What is it? What is that? What is that jumbled language that sprang up out of there? It's Phoenician. And the Phoenicians are Persian. Shemitic. Negroidal. Asiatic black men who are not Africans. As a matter of fact, if you want to know if you are Persian or descend from Persian, if your people have a ITE on the app, so if you've been called an Israelite, if you've been called a Moabite, a Jebusite, a Hivite, a Parasite, you are a Persian Shemitic Negro and not a Hamitic African. The key that you must understand is the Persians are brown skinned, but not Africans. They migrated to Canaan. They migrated there. They're not from there. Oh, I be peeling back everything. Nigga. You don't care about what none of y'all talking about. We already showed that we already had all this stuff 7,000, 8,000, 9,000 years ago. What are you talking about? And to prove that they talking about Indians, look what he teaching them. Taught man to till the soil and to grow what? We only talking about in North America. He taught the women how to make fire cornbread, how to grind and make that cornbread. Listen, I could eat cornbread and butter with a little syrup on that thing every day. Every day. And I could eat rice every day. No matter what I'm eating. You put some beans or some collard greens with some rice and some cornbread. I'm good. You know what I mean? You can call me Lil Wayne Chop Tao. Nigga, I'm eating rice every day. Look, he taught the hunters how to slay the what? This is how I know it's old. Ain't no American lion no more. Ain't no American tiger no more. The mastodon died off, cuz. Last time we had one of them was 10,000 plus BC. They died off with the quaternary extinction event. 9,000s. You dig what I'm saying? Hey, look, I ain't gonna beat them in the head, man. But I hope you learned a little something. If you got a little something out of this, man, hit me with a Super 7, man. Hit me with that Super 7 in the air, man. Anybody want to come in and just top it up with your cousin for a minute? I'll just drop the link real quick. Hold on. I dropped the link real quick. And if you learned a little something today, you dig what I'm talking about? Put that Super 7 in the air, man. Go on, hit. You dig what I'm talking about? I ain't gonna say nothing. But everybody else benefit off the culture. Y'all learned a little something though. Hit your cutting them with a 4 in the chat. I mean a 7. Okay, I see some 7s rolling in. You know what I mean? Boys putting that Super 7 in there. As a matter of fact, let me put some 7 in the air. You dig what I'm talking about? This is amazing, y'all. I ain't never seen nothing like a wasp. I never seen it, bro. I never seen it. And wait till I get on my language game. Wait till I get into this yeehaw and this Vedic. You dig what I'm talking about? I'm up on this. But look, remember them squiggly lines? Watch this. Like this. Hold on. Let me show you. Where is that? Like, okay. Like, look. Y'all see these lines? Like this? See the line like this? These are numbers. These are numbers. Right? Let me show you how to count it. Watch this. Let me go back. Let me show you how to count it. See this? Let me show you. Look. See this? Watch this. Oh, my bad. See this right here? Watch this. That's a 7. Where it's at? Is it in the 7th thing? Is it in the 7th thing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm telling you, Cosmos. Listen. Be afraid. Look, I want y'all to see this. Look, see this? See the up, down, up. Watch this. Right down here. I'm gonna blow it up on the bottom. See that? Right? Watch this. What's this? Up, down, up. It's a 3. It's called a sum. Come on, niggas' heads, bro. Listen. Your groovy guru, your favorite groovy guru, don't want no smoke with Cosmoni. You don't want no smoke with none of the horsemen, really. But this is a date. I'm going to go down in here to get that. And if this say 3953, because we see this last number is a 3. Or it look like maybe a 30. Could this be 3930? I'm going to get into it later, man. You dig what I'm saying? Anybody want to, hold on. Did I drop the link? Did I drop the link? Let me see. I don't remember if I dropped the link or not. Now, come on, hit the link. Come on, holla at your cousin, man. Come on, holla at your cousin, man. You dig what I'm talking about? This is crazy. This is the stuff when I look into it, I be seeing this stuff, man. It just blows my mind. I'm like, how is Owapi dropping this in 1882 before anybody knew? First of all, before the Michigan relics were found. Before there was the Michigan relic, Owaspy is giving this info out. Mm, mm, mm. Mm, mm, mm. This is crazy. This is crazy, yo. I don't see how people don't see what I'm seeing. Don't see what I'm seeing? Bro, it's like Phoenician. This is like ancient. How is he talking about a moon calendar and a moon cycle and all this stuff? And then we look down in here and he said, I taught them how to do the moon. And then we see the moon cycle right here, expressed here. Look, we're not making this up. Look. Showing the quarters of the moon. This is crazy. This is crazy. But we done got down to explaining, though, the great E, O, Y, the E, Go, Quim, the great Algonquin. Right here, the great mystic symbol. Man, didn't he say, all things shall be revealed? Huh? It's crazy. It's crazy. You dig what I'm saying? When I see this stuff, man, it blows my mind. You know? And then to understand that many of this stuff 6,000 plus years old. Look, he got dreads. He got cornrows. He up here teaching. Wait a minute. This reminds me of something. Hold on. That. Wait a minute. Wait. Hold on. Huh? I know it's not the same, but look at this. Hold on, y'all see that? Huh? See the text and everything, right? Let's just take a look at it. Let's take a look at it. Right? We see the little mound, we see a pigeon. You dig what I'm talking about? Obviously, I think this is counting. We see a boat. Huh? We see like a compass style thing, a triangle on its side. We see the eye, the name of the creator again, this secret symbol, mystic symbol. We see that bird. What is that? I don't know what this is. This look like something eating something. I'm not sure. But look, he teaching. He teaching. Right? I don't know why this, see this top, reminded me of this. Here go the bird. It's upside down. Holy shit. Is the whole thing upside down? Oh! It's upside down. This is supposed to go over here. I'm supposed to be facing this way. This the chicken. This is this. Hold on. That's this. Now, what? Okay. You see the bird again right here. Interesting, man. Sometimes this stuff, man. Yeesh. The Clarence Anderson says, bro, the Egyptian list of kings go back like 60,000 years. Well, actually, from my studies, the Tepe is the oldest story in there, and it only go back 36,000 years. But, bro, what are we going to turn down now? Do we turn down anything? The reason why I say it's not 60,000 because that predates the first era of civilization. Why do I say that I don't believe that it's 60,000 years ago, but more like what it says, 36. Why? Check this out, Claude. Check this out, Mr. Anderson. We right here in the 176th year of the 25th arc cycle called Cosmon 2024. Right? That's where we at. If you go back 60,000 years, right? That'll be what? Right here. Right? The fifth arc cycle after the creation of man, or 15,000 years after the creation of man, right? Or from 61,370 BC to 58,370 BC, called the Ark of Jehovihchronicles, right? Under the Etherian road maker Ptolemy. And that's just the second era. Look, why I say it can't be 60,000, or why I'm saying it's not. I'm not saying it can't. I'm just saying I'm saying it's not 60,000 because we don't even see civilization to you dig what I'm talking about, 47 to 44,000 years ago. So, but if you take me back 36,000 years from Egypt, see Egypt all right here from 3950, this is where Egypt began. Pretty much it's from the beginning of the New Kingdom, 3000 to the old dynasty to the New Kingdom right here in 1553 with Amos. Right? So all your Egypt right here. You ain't got no more Egypt. Right? It's right here. So if you take me back 36,000 years, so let's go back 12 arc cycles to the 11th, then I can believe you. 41 to 38,000 BC, I could believe that. Because guess what? You already into major civilization. And right here in the 10th, that would be the 11th, where the story of the 11th, 12th would be the story of the Tepe. Right? Right here, though, in the 10th, right? Mind you, in the 9th, civilization was made, but in the 10th, the whole world was covered with people, and everywhere that a person could live, they were there. Boats, planes, trains, animals, automobiles, everything. They had everything already right here. Schools, planetariums, books, everything already right here. So if you told me you came in the 11th or the 12th, I can believe that. I can believe that. You know what I mean? That's what my study's been showing me more. Excuse me, I said Claude, I meant Clarence. More 36,000. Check out the story of the Zep Tepi, right? And don't get caught up in them Sumerian lists either. Let me give you a little heads up for all the faithists, right? All the people really searching out knowledge out here. If you want to make anything make sense, especially with the Sumerian tablets, because like they got a Sumerian's kings list. Hold on, watch this. Let me just show you what I'm talking about. Let me go back here. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna download it. Hold on one second. I'll just go back. My bad, y'all. My bad. Watch this. Let's punch it up. The Sumerian kings list. Watch this. And I'm gonna show you the same thing worked for Egypt. All right. Watch this. Let me see if I can find them. Now, this is supposed to be written. This is the Sumerian kings list, right? Now, this stuff is predating Egypt. Right? And supposed to be running during the order period, right? But we didn't found in real time Gilgamesh is a real person. And they found the Kish tablets, right? The Kish tablets, they done found these 3000 BC, 3100 BC, already in the old kingdom period. Way before this. Gilgamesh is right around 2700 BC. So if he one of the later kings, well then you dig what I'm talking about. You got a great list. Now I want to show y'all. Let me see if they got some of the dates on here, right? Because they'll say a king, right. Now look, right? This is how you clear up all that bullshit with these great ass times. Because see, they say the duration of each reign is also given on the king's list. In this first section, the reigns vary between what 43,200 and 28,800 years, for a total of 241,200 years. Now, ain't no way, no goddamn man, right? Right? Look what it say. After the flood that swept over. This is what they're trying to tell you. The kingship. Now, remind you, this is the lion ass story from Anu Hasaj. It's a lie from day one. The whole 7-day creation, all that. This is where they get it from. But watch this. After the flood swept over, the kingship descended from heaven. The kingship was in Kish. After this well-known line, the section goes into 23 kings of Kish who ruled between 1,500 and 300 years for a total of 24,500 10 years. Right? Or, like they say, for 2,800 years. Let me give you the secret. Let me give you the secret real quick. You must turn the 28,800 years into 28,800 days. And then extrapolate. For instance, watch this. Just quick. We just asked Google a quick question. We'll ask Google. How many years is 28,800 days? Hold on, wait a minute. How many years is 28,800 days? Damn. Starting to make sense now. Starting to make sense now. When you change the years into days and then extrapolate that 28,000 year cycle, they trying to call a shard 3,650,000. It's a year, right? So you take this 28,800 and extrapolate, and it come out to roughly 78 years. And then you do that for everybody. And then, because once you get down to the get down and you actually add the whole entire Sumerian kings list, and also you can apply this to the Zep-Tepe and all them places, same thing, right? You can apply it to the same places, and you're gonna find out that there's what did they say? 432,000 years is only 665 years. Starting to make sense? Said, wouldn't 60,000 actually? You got a point. Got a point. Yeah. Because 6 months out of the year was 1 year to the Egyptian. What they say to the learned. Yep. Apply it to all of it, family. You right, Jamil. He say, did they say the Azteca, Inca, Olmec, Toltec, and other indigenous peoples know how to study the stars and the stars? That's what he's talking about. Everybody got this knowledge. And for instance, the Aztecs, first of all, there are no Olmec people. There are no Aztecs. There are no Incas. There are no Toltecs. These are names given to people during periods of time, right? So anybody who would have been anywhere in America anciently, let's just say 15,000 years ago, would have been called Olmec or the ancient Maya, who are not the same people as the Mayans. Two total different people, right? And so the Aztecs, are a whole group, not just like one group of people. And they had the knowledge of the stars, the Grand Khan, Maya had the Khan knowledge. You're going to see it represented as a snake eating its tail. Right? And this is also the knowledge of the snake descending the side of the pyramid. Right? So these aren't actually people. They're a group name applied to a whole bunch of people during a period of time. They could have all been, they could have been Shi or Algonquins, but since it's in between, let's just picking numbers, 7,000 and 5,000 years, they old man. You see what I'm saying? So this is how they do them blanket containments of people, man. And man, we had this knowledge everywhere, bro. We had this knowledge everywhere. We talking 9,000 years ago. See, that's what's dope. See, Owaspy ain't making you think like it could be some other time. No, and then once you go back and you check into it, oh damn, man, how is the Phoenicians getting copper from Michigan? How are y'all getting copper from Michigan in Crete? How is the Saint? See, they got these little H blocks made out of copper everywhere in all megalithic buildings in the world. Egypt, everywhere. All of them, except very few, but I would say roughly 75 to 80% of every H block that connects a megalithic structure, right? These little H wedge copper ingots are straight out of Michigan. And we got so much copper up here, they don't even know what to do. They can't get it. It's so much up there. I'm telling you, you couldn't use it up. And it's pure. You could just heat it up and have some copper. You ain't got to smelt it. So what we're finding is many of these techniques, sciences, because remember, Iwata taught them astrology 6,000 years ago. But remember, 2 whole arc cycles before that, during the time of Osir, you dig what I'm saying? He had brought astrology, cosmology, and all the sciences to the earth. So is it already old? Did they lose it somehow and had to regain it? That's what I'm saying. You know? Hey, but I ain't gonna keep it too long, man. I gotta get up out of here. I gotta pull an overnight shift tonight. But hey, you dig what I'm talking about? Show some love, man. Hit that link. You dig what I'm talking about? Hit that thumbs up. You dig what I'm talking about? Share the video, man, out there to your favorite platforms, man. You know, just sub, like, share, man. I hope y'all got a little something up out of this, man. And you know your boy gonna keep on coming with it. Hey, love, light, and balance. All praises to the ever-present creator, the incomprehensible, the one that was, is, and ever shall be. Right? The first and the last, man. Okay, it's a blessing. It's a blessing to be here with y'all, man. It's truly inspiring. You dig what I'm saying? Hey, love, light, and balance. And y'all know what I want y'all to do, right? I want you to breathe in. Let that light in. Because I'm Cosmon, and I'm out.
And oh yeah, put that Super 7 in the air. Tell me how you feel it when you're feeling up there. When you in the sky breathing rarefied air. When you're breathing rarefied air, oh yeah. Put that Super 7 in the air. Tell me how you feeling when you feel it up there. When you in the sky breathing rarefied air. When you're breathing rarefied air, oh, it's that Japheth, that Tao Main since sunset in the arc of Wayne. My brain moving like Tao Sang. So as above, it's so below. That up and that down thing. This flow is atmospheric. I call that a ground game. See, water is knowledge. So if I'm teaching, you're learning. So how your God make a sun without vortexing and current? See the pattern is ponic. I'm reaching out for my people. Oh, watch me flow through your speakers. You feel the force of the ether. And when the force gets the equal, I'm taking off like an eagle. Police popped the pastor yesterday for pushing put equal. My DNA is Moshe. Mix that thing with higher water. My spirit rate is OTN. It's just a higher order. Got more light than Kavita. Rap a lot just like Tila. Went from sinner to saint. Shout out my big homie Sealer. Got more torque than a sports car. Got more work than a door star. In the 4 million I make, I'm giving the Dr. Umar. Oh yeah. Put that Super 7 in the air. Tell me how you feeling when you're feeling up there. When you in the sky breathing rarefied air. When you're breathing rarefied air. Oh yeah. Put that Super 7 in the air. Tell me how you feeling when you feel it up there. When you in the sky breathing rarefied air. When you're breathing rarefied air. Oh yeah. Super 7 in my rites and ceremonies. I'm married to Jehovah, holy matrimony. Confucius say, in the words of Caillou, before you hit the tomb, be a bridegroom. Only got one question for Miss Susan B. On how to last Ahuin is now a Angui. Blame my inspiration, I'm just thinking thoughts. But in the way of God's, we gon' keep it short. Why Jesus wanna kill me, Matthew 10:34. Just a couple questions that I'm needing to know. Oh, watch me flow, it's so potent. Set the vortex in motion. Super 7, I'm floating across the Aegean Ocean. Oh, you a Muslim now, so I guess you make it a lot. Well, I'm an Israelite, I'ma make him at the Shabbat. Got Moses on the bumper, super slap off in my spaceship photosphere. So I stay lit, peace and light to the faith is so yeah. Put that Super 7 in the air. Tell me how you feeling when you're feeling up there. When you in the sky breathing rarefied air. When you're breathing rarefied air. Oh yeah. Put that Super 7 in the air. Tell me how you